Carol has been out in a beautiful meadow this morning by royal appointment. Morning, Carol.
Very much, Carol.
It's a lovely brooch you're wearing, Carol, and how appropriate.
What annoys you most when you're driving? How about being tailgated by other cars or seeing drivers talking on their mobiles?
Later today, the government announces new measures to clamp down on careless drivers. Breakfast Jenny Hill is keeping an eye on commuters on the M5 motorway for us this morning. Jenny, the ones which most people are getting in contact with us about are those in the middle lane.
Jenny, thanks very much for some vigorous discussion about this on the emails and on the sofa this morning. Can I just read you something from the Highway Code? Susanna. Point number 264, lane discipline. You should always drive in the left-hand lane when the road ahead is clear. If you're overtaking a number of slow-moving vehicles, you should return to the left-hand lane as soon as you are safely passed. Slow-moving or speed-restricted vehicles should always remain in the left-hand lane of the carriageway unless overtaking. There. That's for you to take home.
I so hope we go on a long drive together one day. We are trying to solve a mystery this morning. It is about this chap. He's 100 years old.
This one, not this one.
Shall I show you this photograph?
Showing the bear being cuddled by two.
I don't want to damage it. There we go.
There we are.
So there we go. Are you related?
Experts believe that this is an original Farnell's bear made in the early 1900s. Staff at Bristol Airport have been spending 14 months trying to find the rightful owner. Now they're asking us all to help get the bear back to his family. So if you have any idea about where this fellow's from, to whom he belongs, then do get in touch with us. Lots of stories about missing teddy bears this morning, aren't there?
Yes, I left my little Ted in a restaurant in Jersey. Upon returning to our hotel, I was inconsolable, refused to go to bed. She was 3 at the time. This is from Amanda. My dad decided to take me to the police station. We reported him missing. Next day, police phoned, asked us to go to the station as soon as possible. They'd gone to collect little Ted. He'd spent the night in the cells. They'd made him a prisoner's uniform. He'd been charged with going AWOL. Obviously a quiet night for police that night, says Amanda, but they made a 3-year-old little girl very happy.
Thank you very much for that story. Coming up, the BBC News Channel will have full details of those new fines on careless driving and middle lane hoggers when they're announced in the next hour or so.
Here on Breakfast, rehearsals underway for a rather different production of Carmen. This is a story of love and heartbreak, isn't it? If only we could reunite this bear with its owner or a relative of its owner this morning. That would be fantastic. Time now to get the news, travel and weather where you are. We'll see you in a moment. You're rather attached to that bear this morning. Savers are being urged to check their premium bonds as there are almost, can you believe it, £44 million worth of forgotten prizes just lying there waiting to be claimed. Those are the main stories this morning. Here is what's coming up later on Breakfast. Holiday makers. Sally's here with the sport. How you
In this particular case, I'm trying to think of a good purpose in human terms for the mauve stinger jellyfish.
Keep working on it. Richard, thanks very much.
Good to talk to you. Thanks very much.
Coming up to 8:45, the new Children's Laureate Mallory Blackman has some big shoes to fill. She's the 8th author to hold the title, and she's following in the footsteps of writers like Michael Moore-Pergo, Jacqueline Wilson and Quentin Blake. Mallory's appointment was announced yesterday, but she has already set herself some big challenges, including one of them is to make sure every primary school child in Britain has a library card. Well, Mallory will join us in a moment. First, let's find out more about how she became the new champion of children's literature. Well, Mallory is with us now. Good morning. Children's Laureate is the champion of children's books. My 11-year-old yesterday said, what does that mean, being Children's Laureate?
Well, basically...
Some battles going on over local libraries too.
Yes, absolutely. And I think in these times, it seems to me like places like South Korea, for example, I was reading something that said in 2012 they started an initiative to build 180 libraries. They've been building...
You want every child to have a library card. Of course, every child is entitled to have a library card. What is the problem then with not everybody having one?
Because the challenge, of course, is to wean the children up.
Face the prospect of an unusual heart transplant. Let's have a look.
Quite a grown-up issue, and that's what you deal with in your literature. As Boys Don't Cry, it was about a boy taking his A-levels, suddenly discovering and being a dad.
Yes, indeed. I thought
who presented you with your medal yesterday, who's been the Children's Laureate for the last couple of years, mentioned as she was leaving the post that one of the issues that perhaps needs to be tackled is why boys in particular reach a point where they stop reading. Now, a lot of your books do appeal, I know, to both boys and girls, but particularly to boys. So what is happening that boys reach a point where they stop, and how do we keep them engaged?
Graphic novels out there, and this feeling of well, it's a comic book, so you know we're going to get a bit sniffy about it.
It goes that if you read graphic novels, you don't advance any further into literature proper.
No, heard that.
Well, let's have the argument. Is there any evidence to suggest one or the other? I don't know.
I don't know those books. I would say then, if you like those, have you thought about reading?
You have a new book out, Noble Conflicts. Viewers can see it there in the background. But you've said that perhaps this period of being laureate is going to stop you writing quite so much. So a reader's going to be disappointed while you try and recruit other readers.
Well, I'm going to try and keep up with my writing, but obviously canny.
Yeah. Oh, well, good to talk to you, Mallory. Thanks very much indeed.
My pleasure.
Mallory Blackman's new book, Noble Conflict, is, as she was just saying, released on Thursday.
No conflict with the weather at the moment. It's all perfect harmony for Carol, who's at Highgrove for us this morning. Looks lovely. Morning, Carol.
Good morning. Look at this.
Thanks very much.
Security issue at
Yeah,
Highgrove.
security.
Now, this was the scandal which had everything: sex and spying, a leading politician in disgrace, the rich and famous consorting with glamorous models and small-time drug dealers.
50 years ago today, Britain's Secretary of State for War, John Perfumer, resigned following the affair. It laid bare corruption at the heart of the British establishment and helped to bring down a government, as Nick Hyam has been looking back. Sorry, we're just having a laugh.
No, not about that.
Not about that. No, that was a serious...
That was a
There's
scandal.
nothing like being
50
caught
years
out
ago.
because Priya Kalidas and Stephen Ramos, the Toreadors, goes in Carmen.
And you know it really well.
Well,
Both of you do,
sort of
actually.
ish. But in,
Well, you know it even better.
in your version of Carmen, it's different. Or have you got the basics of that one? Because it's a mishmash, isn't it?
It is. It's
How does it start?
Da, 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 da.
There we go.
Time then for a quick last look at what's happening where you are. Da, 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 da. Back. Many of us will know the opera Carmen as the tale of a Spanish seductress who mesmerizes. See, I knew I wasn't going to be able to say that. Who mesmerizes the men around her. Now, there's to be a production of the show as you've never seen it before.
Yes, this Sunday, Carmen swaps Seville for Bradford in a live street performance that is already sold out. And the melodies, dance routines and storyline have been given a Bollywood twist. So to explain how that works, here is opera, full of fabulous music. It's probably one of the most popular operas that people might know about. So I suppose it lends itself, Priya, to a sort of exuberant Bollywood treatment.
yeah, absolutely. As Bollywood is.
Go up and come down in this respect. It doesn't really, because
It's not in a theatre.
Yeah, it's not a theatre.
It will be shot like a film.
Carmen as a waitress.
Yeah, she's a young girl from
I'm
Bradford.
trying to get my head around this, the mishmash, if you like, of this production, because people expecting to see Carmen and hear the music of Carmen will not be getting that. How much Bizet is there in your Carmen this weekend?
You definitely will hear bits of it.
Birmingham as a character, you can always come back.
Yeah, she's not
Potentially.
dead.
She's not dead.
Yes, but I think she needs a bit of time, but, you know,
Yeah.
she could
Sidestep to
potentially come back.
Bradford.
Yeah.
Maybe she
She's
moved.
apparently coming to watch the production.
In that, and then when she's seen it, she goes, I want to be on the telly again.
Yes,
And I'll go back.
exactly.
And it's as you mentioned, it's live in front of a live audience, but it's a sellout already. Sold out.
It's sold out, so
Or the weather. Please.
Or the weather, of course.
yes.
And that's
Yes.
the big thing. You probably know more than us.
All right, good. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
As Bill said, tickets all sold out, but Bollywood Carmen will be live on BBC Three this Sunday at 9 o'clock.
That is it from us this morning. Charlie and Louise will be back tomorrow, BBC One, from 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, of course.
They're going to be joined by the Hollywood actress Hayden Panettiere, who began her career at just 4 years old and made her name in Ally McBeal and in Heroes. She's in a new TV series, Nashville.
For now, from us, though, have a great day.
Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.